Hey everybody, what's happening? It's Jerry from the Neutral Corner, and we are live. So we got a guest tonight, and I'm happy to have him. I've known this guest for a little while, and wanted to have him on the show to talk about his boxing journey, his boxing career, how he got into it, how boxing's changed his life. And he's a good guy. He does a lot outside the ring. We're going to get into that also. I want to thank everybody for joining in. And don't forget, share the video. If you share the video, that'd be great. You can also comment in the comment section and ask our guest questions and get involved in the video. That's what's important. The Neutral Corner is about its fans. And I want to get you guys interacting with us and talking and asking questions. That's what it's all about. So I want to welcome our guest to the Neutral Corner, Justin Morales. Justin, how are you?
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Jerry. How's everything?
I can't. There you go. I can hear you. Good,
You can
man.
hear me?
I can hear you fine, man. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, man. How you been?
Good, man. How's everything with you?
Everything's good, man. I'm blessed. You know what I mean? I'm alive. You know what I mean? I'm healthy. I'm healthy. You know, my family's good. You know, so everything's blessed, man. Everything's falling in place. I could say that much. That much I could say. You know.
Absolutely. So, Justin, I know there's a big event coming up this Saturday. Stay Ready Boxing Promotions putting it on, and Laos is the main man putting the show on. Laos did a great show at the gates in
Wow.
Portugal here in the city of Fall River. Laos does a lot of hard work behind the scenes. This isn't easy putting on a show like this, and I love to give a big shout out to Laos. My pronoun it's Laos or Laos, right?
Los, yeah, it's all
Laos, yeah.
it's all good.
Forgive me,
Yep,
man.
Los, yep.
Forgive me. I'm sure he'll forgive me. Great guy. I've interviewed
Definitely
him. I've had
will.
him on the show. So yeah, Stay Ready Boxing. It's going to be at the PAL, uh, and the doors open at 6:30. Bell starts at 7. So come on, tickets still available, right?
Man, tickets. I mean, I have no tickets, so you know what I mean. My tickets are all gone. I sold out. God is good. You know, my fan base, my friends, my family. You know, and everybody just blessed me with everybody participating in it. Because as you know, that's how our boxers make our money. You know, that's what a lot of people don't understand. That's where we get paid. You know, by the ticket. So I'm very blessed to say that tickets were really well. You know what I mean. I cannot complain, but they're going. They're going. So, last minute people, I'm going to let you know this. Don't do the last minute thing because you probably be in front of that door just hearing about it. And that's not something you want to be at.
No, absolutely. Because from what I'm hearing, this is an exciting card. 8 solid fights. We'll get into the other guys that are on that card. I want to talk to you. I know you do a lot outside the ring. You do a lot in the community. But I definitely want to ask you one question. I ask all my fighters that come on the show this same question, from Devin Alexander to Antoine Echoes to you know um, Daryl Too Sweet
All of
Coley,
them.
a lot
Yeah.
that we've had on, Mikey Gudrow, a lot of the people that we have on. So I'm going to ask you this question real quick, and tell me, how did this all start for you in the boxing game? How you got into it and how you continue to stay into it? Because we're getting up there in age, and you're still involved in the sport of boxing. If you want to get into a little bit of your story, that would be great, of telling me how it started and how you continue to keep going, man.
Yeah, I mean, it all started. Oh man, it all started really, really like I had a cousin Rod. I had a cousin Rodney, and we used to have gloves in the house, and he was bigger than me, and he used to always tell me that if you can take a punch from me, nobody from your age can know. You know what I mean? So it started like that, but what it really, really started was high school. I'll never forget the story. God bless his soul. A good friend of mine. His name was Julio. We were both freshmen. We were both freshmen in high school when this guy must have been like 5'1". He was real 5'1", 90 pounds. And I remember walking into school one day, and he had the most biggest black eye I've ever seen in my life. Like I just couldn't understand like who hit this guy and why. And it bothered me so much that I remember running up to him like, yo, who did this to you? Let's go. And we ain't gonna ask no questions. And he started laughing. Like he just started laughing at me. He's like, yo, calm down, Justin. Nobody did this to me. Nobody. And I was like, so how you get a black eye? He was like, I was in a show. And immediately it just blew my mind. He started telling me, like, he was like, I made the fight of the night, and he started explaining to me the crowd yelling, the environment, and I couldn't believe that he was doing it. I'm like, I do this at the house with my big cousin. So, so it made sense. So I asked him. I remember asking him real quick to the story. I remember asking him where was the gym, but where the gym was, it was a really really bad neighborhood, which I knew my grandmother was not gonna let me go. So true story. For 6 months before my first fight, for 6 months I had to hide my gym bag up the street and leave at 5 o'clock every day and make sure I was back at the house at 9. And
And hide the bag before you went back in the house.
yeah, no, and I had to make sure I didn't get hit. You know what I mean? Um, Everything came out to light on my first fight because I had no idea. I had a curfew. My curfew was at 10:30, and
Wait a
Grandma
minute.
didn't
Wait a
play.
minute.
Like Grandma,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You had a curfew?
oh yeah,
That's
Grandma didn't play.
that's what's missing in today. Hey, listen, man. You kids need a curfew, man. That's old school. I love that. Shout out to your grandmother, man. I love that. You know what I mean? So okay,
I
keep
had
going, man.
I had a curfew. I had a curfew, and I remember telling my coach, I'm like, "Yo, it's 9 o'clock. When am I gonna fight?" He's like, "Calm down. Like you're gonna pretty soon." And when 10 o'clock came, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna fight in the ring and I'm gonna fight in the house. It's gonna be a double match. True story to end that story with it. I won the fight and I went home with a trophy. And yeah, she was up. She was waiting for me. And when I walked into the trophy, or when I walked in the house, my grandmother was like, what's that? And then my coach was like, listen, he's been going 6 months to the gym and he's been putting in this work, and he had his first fight and he won. And I remember my grandfather was a baseball player, so boxing was never his thing. He looked at me, he said, boxing? I said, yeah, I'm good at it. And the next day I was going to the gym secretly ready to walk out the house, and my grandfather said, I'll give you a ride. And
Wow.
he became my number one fan. Oh man.
Nah, it's okay, brother.
Yeah, man, he became my number one fan. Like I did like 79 fights amateur in Puerto Rico, and I gotta say that man went to like 78
Wow. Wow. Great story, man.
faithfully.
That's
Yeah, so
awesome.
that's how boxing started with me. That's honestly,
So how
that's
so
it.
you went pro only I think it was 2021. When did you because I know you had a little break from boxing. So tell me this journey.
So
This is your stage. I want you to tell your story.
so around 2000 around 2008 I was blessed to take custody of my son, of my middle son. And so raising a kid, big shout out to all the single mothers out there that, people, a big shout out to anybody that's raising kids by themselves. And they don't get the recognition that really they do need. It's not an easy job. So I started raising my kid. So boxing was like really limited. You know what I mean? I just focused on going to work, being home. Babysitters were real
Being a
scarce.
dad.
You know what I mean? So yeah, being a dad. So once he got a little bit more older, around 2011, with Ray Oliveira, I went to the Golden Gloves in Fall River, and 2011 we won the Golden Gloves. In 2012 we repeat the Golden Gloves. About to go pro, but I had a very severe accident in my face. A lot of people don't know, but I had a good plastic surgery in my face. I got a good surgeon, man. Big
Yeah,
shout out to the
look at
surgeon.
this job, baby. Look at
Made
the
me look.
job.
He did a great job. I had a really bad accident with my face that my jaw was broken and it needed to be wired for like a good 9 months.
Wow.
So just like anything, yeah, just like anything, 9 months go by, you don't know if you want to do this, you don't know if this is the right thing to do. Everybody's telling you, the age is always a factor, why are you doing it? So it gets in your head, you know what I mean? And honestly, it just really was a really big burden. You see all your friends going pro, even if their career is successful or not successful. I was tired of people telling me how it felt to walk in the ring as a pro. And at the age, I believe at 38, I decided I wanted to teach. I wanted not also to teach my kids. Just wanted to let everybody know, like, there is no such thing as an age limit as a dream. You know what I mean? A dream can be whatever you want it to be. So I talked to my family about it. They're all not agreeing with it, but they love me, so they support me. You know what I mean? I could respect that. I could respect that. So I decided to go pro and take the big leap at the age of 38. And it's been a rocky. It's been rocky. It's been very rocky. Very rocky because of my age. People overlook at me because of my age. 1 years old. I shouldn't be doing this. I have a great job. I really, really have a great job. But for some reason, Jerry, I can't stay out the ring. I can't. I can't. I
Yeah.
can't. I
No,
don't know.
no, I just look, man. I just want to say that your story is unique and it's great. It needs to be told, and that's what we want to do here on a Neutral Corner is to bring fighters on, boxers on. I don't want to say fighters, boxers on to be able to tell their story. Look, man, you're a single dad bringing up your son. You took a step back from boxing, and then you get into an accident. You got your jaw wired for 9 months. And you start having those doubts. You know what I mean? Is this for me? If it's not for me, about you're hearing stories of people going pro and walking to the ring, and those things can bother you mentally. But what I like about you, Justin, is you never gave up on that dream, and here you are now. Here you are now.
Yeah.
And you've been training hard. I follow you on Facebook. I know you're boxing out of Stay Ready Boxing, correct?
Yes, yes.
Great gym.
I want to take the time real quick to stay.
Go ahead.
Los. I want to say thank you to Los, because Los and Chris. Chris is the owner of
Jacob.
the boxing gym. Yeah, Chris Jacob. I wanna really take the time and say thank you to them, because they never lost faith on me. Like, you know what I mean? They will always tell me, like, just, I got something in the pot. I'm cooking something. You know, trust me, trust me. If you trust me, I'll trust you. And at the end of the day, look where we're at right now. Look what they're doing for Fall River. Like, oh my God, a
Absolutely.
city of
Yeah. Yeah.
boxing, a great city that has so much to offer. And beyond the events that they do, if people was to take the time to spend an hour of how these guys actually work inside their gym, it's amazing. Like, if I have a young kid, I definitely would want my son to join that gym, just because it's very amazing. That's the best thing I'll say. The gym is amazing, the people are amazing, and they're working great things for local fighters, that it's very hard to go on somebody's backyard and go fight in Low and New Island. Like, it's not fun. Not fun.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Because
No, I
you're
mean
fighting.
Stay Ready Boxing is really good at what they do. There's a lot of good local gyms for it, and I love it. That all these gyms, you know, are doing so much for the community. You know what I mean? And I know he has free boxing classes for the not free, but he's got boxing classes for the kids.
No, there is free. There is. I
Yeah,
believe. I
yeah,
believe
okay,
if
yeah. So look, go ahead, Justin.
I believe that if you are a resident, I don't know the program completely well. I know that they can tell you better, but they definitely have. If you are a resident of Fall River, there is a way that you can go to that gym some way somehow, and you can get some boxing classes. They have. That's how much. That's how much they've been working with the community in Fall River. Like, honestly.
Yeah, Florida's a unique city, man. It's great. I know we get a bad rap, you know what I mean? But it's a great city. People doing a lot of great things in the community, and we need to talk about that because we talk so much about the negative things going on that we lose focus on the positive things going on. And there's so many people and great organizations out there doing so much work in the
Yes,
city. We need to
yes.
focus on the positive. There are a lot of boxing gyms in Fall River that are doing great things. You know what I mean? So let's talk about Saturday night, man. Let's talk about Saturday night. First, let's go over to the comments, Justin. So we got Justin Vieira Sr. commenting. He says, what a great story of overcoming struggles, buckling down, and staying after the dream.
Man, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I mean, I
You know,
believe in myself. I believe
absolutely.
in
Look,
myself.
and this is what it's about, right? We may need to put our dream on hold. We may need to focus on other things, but you never gave up on it. You went back to it and you grind, you work hard. I see you in the gym all the time. You made weight, you're ready to go, you're drinking that Gatorade. I love it. Let's talk
Yeah.
about Saturday night. I want to focus on Saturday night. How was training camp? Talk to me about training
So
camp and some of the people that worked with you in training camp.
so right now, as right now I'm back in New Bedford. I'm not living in Rhode Island. Last time I was on your show, I was living in Rhode Island. I'm back in my city in New Bedford. I'm blessed to be back in my city. I'm back with my family, with my wife, my kid, my son Lucas. Big shout out to my man Lucas. You know what I mean?
Lucas, what's happening,
Uh,
man? You should be proud of your pops right here. You working hard.
yeah, big shout out to my kids, man. You know, so Saturday, what can I tell you, Jerry? So last fight that I had, this is the best way I could describe that thing. I believe I outboxed him, but after watching that fight, he looked more aggressive. So I definitely outboxed him. He looked aggressive, and then the combination of being in his hometown, I believe that kind of worked out in his favor.
Yeah,
So for me, bringing that subject up is I am not gonna leave things on the judges. And the judges, they're not gonna.
you don't
I'm
want to
not
leave it
giving
in
them
the
that
judge's
choice.
hands, man.
No, we're not doing that. You know, I now that I'm working with Ray Olivera Sucre, you know what I mean? Big shout out to Ray, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, big shout out to my old team, you know what I mean? Great team. Just I'm over here in New Bedford, so the traveling doesn't work. So I'm over here where I'm at. Training is going well. You know what I mean? I had the best training. I had Scotty, I was with my man Scotty, I had Toka Khan, I had my man Chris,
Smokehouse,
I had
baby.
Jose, yeah, I had Jose Ferreira. Like, you know, we had we had sparring. Jerry, there is no excuse. How about that? There's no
I
excuse.
like that. I like that.
I am
I mean, it
going to
seems like
be I'm going to go be an aggressive. You know what I mean? Normally my boxing style, I just love to box. I love to box. I like the science. So now this time there is no science. I mean, I got big goals after this fight, so I have to win this fight. I have to win this fight, Jerry, because after this fight on that same night there is a big announcement. You get what I mean? But I need
yeah.
I can't focus into that one. So Saturday, you know, I got a great opponent. He ain't scared. He signed that contract
Talk to
real
me about
quick.
Sal, right? Your boxing, your opponent Sal. I don't want to butcher his last name. Um, I don't know if you know how to pronounce his last name. I don't. But Sal. So tell me a little bit. What do you know about him? Have you watched any film on him?
Nothing. Don't know nothing about Sal. Only thing I tell you that Sal's in some deep with me on Saturday because I don't want
I
to say
like
bad
that.
words because I know
No,
got
it's
kids
all
that
right.
watch
You
this.
can, but you don't. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
But
So
you know, but
what do
Sal, I respect Sal. I believe that in this game you don't have to be disrespectful to sell a fight. Um, so I got nothing to say about Sal. Sal, for what I do know, he's from Connecticut. I'm ready to fight. I know he's coming ready to fight. I know he's coming into my backyard, so I'm not expecting him to lay down for me. I'm expecting Sal to come to fight. So yeah, man, we ready to fight. We ready to fight, Jerry. You got me all amped
I
up
can
in
hear
here.
your energy. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, you got me all amped up, ready to go for another
That's
6 miles after this
well.
run.
Here we
Yeah,
are, right here.
baby.
Rumble in the Rib, Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. Listen, man, here's Sal right here out of East Hartford, Connecticut. Justin don't know much about him, but Justin, you look ready to go in this picture. The doors open at 6:30 p.m. this Saturday. I think it's 31 Franklin Street,
Yes, sir.
PAL. State Boxing Promotions is putting this on. They got 8 solid fights. You got to catch it. we know Justin ain't got no tickets. We don't know if there's tickets available at the door. If you get in touch with, if you go on Facebook, go over to Stay Ready Boxing
Yeah.
and message them. I'm sure they'll send you in the right direction. So tell me a little bit about Toka Khan and how he's helped you prepare for this fight. Because
So
I know
Toka, you know,
I love watching him fight, man.
yeah, no, Toka, what Toka brings in sparring is intensity. He's very elusive. He's very elusive. He's very powerful as well. So, and a lefty, you know, and then not only that, he comes from that Freddie Roach. He comes from, you know, he does a lot of traveling on that. So he brings, you know, we're blessed to have him bringing that type of style over here. And so he brings a lot. He brings a lot of intensity. He brings you round. So you just know that if you go on spar with Toka, you gonna get the rounds that you asked for. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely,
that, yeah,
absolutely.
I got some good
I
rounds
want
with
to. I
him.
want to go. I want to, and that's great. I'd love to have Toka on. I'm gonna reach out to him. I follow him on Facebook. He's a great dude,
Yes,
man, family man, and
yes.
he could bang.
Oh,
I just want to go over to the comments real quick. Eric Henderson said, "Solid man." Chris Jacobs and Laos are amazing to work with. Stay ready as a family. Good story, Justin. Age is just a number.
hey man,
You
yo, good.
you
Hey,
got this. Dreams do come true, man. Keep doing your thing. So you got fans out there, man.
yeah, no, I definitely, you know, I'm blessed, Jerry. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. You know, all this career can
Absolutely.
end at the end of the day. It could end, and I could still walk away with my head high, and I could walk away saying, you know, people actually follow me, and people follow me for the right reasons. And like I said, you know, I'm blessed to have, you know, friends like him and people that follow me, you know, and people like you, Jerry. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Like, don't take it away from yourself. People like you, we need people like you for these local fighters that platforms like this make us feel like a superstar. Like, come on, the other day
Oh,
You
look,
had Alexander,
look,
you had a world champion, and then from a world champion, you got Justin Morales. Like, come on, like, you know what I mean? So for
listen, man.
me,
Look, I'll tell you, I am blessed, and that my show has grown the way it has, and I've reached out to guests that I've had, but I love having the world champions on and the Hall of Fame is on. I've had John Scully on.
wow,
There's numerous guys we've had on, but my local guys, I got to give them a platform to be able to help sell
amen,
their tickets, share the show, tell your
amen.
story. You guys have tremendous, great stories. And this is the show, the Neutral Corner. If you know any local fighters that want to come on the show, reach out to me. I'd love to have them on and talk about that. And you don't have to be a pro. You could be an amateur fighter too. I want to get you on the show. I want you to tell your story. So look, tell me how boxing now, not just in the sport, how has boxing helped you in the real world, in life in general?
Wow. Well, I'll tell you this, man, Jerry. I'll be real with you. At the age of 17, you know, and chilling with the wrong crowd and doing the wrong things. You know what I mean? I end up in jail doing a sentence for a long time, for like a good 8 years. And I remember walking into I remember walking into jail, and I didn't have no tattoos in my body, and I didn't have no mustache, I had no hair, and I was like all these grown men, you know what I mean, and scared. Like, honestly, to be quite honestly, I was scared, and I'm like, in my mind, I don't fit in here, and I was very terrified. But one thing that them guys knew, they knew I could fight. You know, they always knew that, yo, yeah, they knew that that kid can fight. You know, and boxing, boxing actually brought me through good moments through jail. I got to fight in jail for a couple of fights that I got to see Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto got to see me in jail. I got to see Wilfredo Vasquez. He coached one of my fights, and another world champion, Nene Sanchez. So
That's big name.
even in my darkest moments, in my most isolated moments, boxing was still there to uplift me and to always let me know that I got your back. You know, when nobody got my back, and when nobody, you know, there's nobody that I could always rely and, go into my cell room and I could shadow box, or I could, tell one of the guys, yo, could you hold the mints for me so I could hit him. So I could say that boxing, I never used it for defense. I never used it to learn to beat people up. I never used it because I wanted to be, I actually loved it because it was a sport. I took it as a sport. I really took it as a sport. So it was, that's what I could say boxing has done for me in my life. It brought me through certain stages and was there for me for certain stages in my life that I definitely needed to be.
Definitely taught you some discipline, and you learned a lot about yourself. And I think that's what boxing does. So let me leads me into another question. You did some time in prison, and so you got that, and you've learned from it. You've moved on. You've done well. So I definitely want to give you a round of applause for that, because you do a lot of things. Let me ask you this question. Justin, we just had an incident in Fall River with a bunch of high school kids in McDonald's, and it was stuff going on. What do you think about a young kid today out in the streets? If you can give them any words of advice, what would it be? Because we're going through a tough stage right here, and I know I want to focus on the positive things, but these young youth in our city, in Fall River and in New Bedford, I want them to hear a message from someone that's been there, done that. You know what I mean? What are some of the things you would tell these young kids today?
Jerry, now you want me to be a caseworker?
We were gonna get to that. We were gonna get to that. So
Now, all jokes
if you
aside,
want, how
now,
about we do this, Justin? I love you. This is why I had this guy on, man.
you
Let's talk
know,
about this. It might lead into that, Justin. What is Justin doing when he's not in the gym and he's working?
so I am blessed. I am blessed to work with a strong community. I work with addiction. I work with addiction. I have the privilege to work for High Point in New Bedford, WASI, the female program. I am a RS. I work the night shift. I'm the night shift guy. But under my belt, I have 10 years of working as an outreach worker, and I have a recovery coach certificate, and a whole bunch of jack of all trades that we just put under a hat. But at
Yeah,
the end of the day,
yeah,
when I'm
community.
not working, when I'm not punching a bag, I'm always trying to punch in a good way. When I mean that, I'm always trying to drop a seed on somebody, letting them know that what you're going through right now is a right now situation. I'm not here to change you. I'm just here to be with you through this whole So I'm always trying to be positive. I have no time in my field to be negative. That could cost somebody a life. You know what I mean? So when I'm not in the gym and I'm at work, I got my hat on as work. Work is, always trying to let a person know that I've been where you're at. I know how it feels. And if you trust yourself and if you believe yourself, this can be the outcome. And that's it. And most of the time that's what people need to hear sometimes. I'm not here to change you. I'm just here to be here with you to go through what we have to go through it. With no expectations.
And no, and look, man, I think communities, because I know you've worked in Fall River community, you're working in New Bedford now, so you're out there changing lives, you're trying to help people through some tough, difficult times. And we see these people out there all the time, and sometimes they get a negative look, but that's somebody's son, somebody's grandson, somebody's nephew.
Yes.
They're a human being. And
Yes.
I think, with you being there and going through your go through, and that's what it is. It's just a chapter in your story, right? And um, you try to help guide a individual through the process of getting help and getting back into recovery and getting back into
Yeah.
the quality of life. And I think that's important, and that just speaks volumes about you. You know what I mean? So listen, man, I appreciate that about you, and I'm going to tell you this: I've spoke with you on numerous occasions about situations, and I just want
Yeah.
to let you know I got my Narcan training. I carry my Narcan in my personal
Oh,
vehicle, and I carry my Narcan when I'm around. So
save a
it's
life.
about saving life. It's about helping people. And I thank you for doing that and being such an important person in your community. I think that's what it takes, right? It takes people like yourself that get out there, and it's not about judgment. It's about making our community a better place to live and everybody working together. Now, I understand not every day is going to be rainbows and sunshine. Everybody's going to be happy. We're going to go through our go through. We're going to go through adversity. But when you go through that, you find who you really are. See, if it were easy, everybody would do it, right?
Yep.
If it were easy to become a doctor, everybody would do it. If it were easy, everybody would do it. So when you go through your go through, keep going, because on the other side of that is your breakthrough.
Amen. Amen.
You know, and I got another comment coming in, Justin. I want to read this to you. It takes a real man / woman to want to help somebody without judgment or expectation. You're doing God's work. Thank you.
Thank you, Tella. I said thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said,
Absolutely.
I I want to, you tend to, I don't do it by myself. You got people like Star, you got people like Star doing amazing things in Fall River. Believe it or not, Star is Star. You have people like Seven Hills, and these are all companies that I got to work with and work with great programs. Like Star has Fuerza Latina that works with the Latin community. If you know anybody that's Latin that has any addiction that don't know how to express themselves, you can find that there. You get what I'm saying? They have different numerous of other programs. It's just that one on the side. Then you go to Seven Hills and you have they have a great SSP program, syringe program, syringe exchange program. Like, that's amazing. You get what I mean? And then you got High Point that's helping. Oh my God, the like, so there is help. There is help.
And I think people like yourself and the team of people you work with is amazing to the community. You're in New Bedford right now and in Fall River, because I know you did work in Fall River. But
Yeah.
Hey, man, thank you so much for that. But listen, let's get back to the boxing again. And this is a fighter, a boxer, right? We talk about boxing, we talk about fighting. It's violent, and this is that. This gentleman is out there making a huge impact in his community and saving lives. This is a gentleman that's a fighter, a boxer, puts his life on the line when he steps through these ropes right here, right? So this is the world of boxing. There's so many great stories to come out of. I'm looking forward to Saturday night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wish you luck, because in the world of boxing,
There's
it's
no
got
such thing.
nothing to do with luck. This is what it's got to do with. And I learned this from my motivational person that I turn to, Eric Thomas. It's not about luck. It's about preparation meeting opportunity. And you're well prepared for this opportunity. Take advantage of the opportunity in the lifetime of the opportunity. And that's what you're doing. It's got nothing to do with age. Let me ask you this now. What's going to happen Saturday night? Can I get a prediction? Or you're saying, listen, I'm just going to go out there and do my thing? And if it happens, it happens. Come on, baby.
I'm just going to go out there and do my thing. I'm going to go do my thing. One thing I'm going to be is I am going to be very aggressive.
Good for you. Keep that head moving. Use that jab. Cut that ring off. You know what you got to do.
We know. We're very aggressive on this.
So absolutely. Let me ask you a question. Now, I'm gonna ask you this question. This is something I've been talking about for a very, very, very long time, and I think it's about time to bring it to the forefront and bring in the right people and people that can hopefully make this thought, this idea. I've thought about this for a long time. I know how I want to do it. What do you think about introducing boxing into high school? I want your real opinion.
In this generation, Jerry, I mean, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. And the reason why I'm going to tell you this: who's going to teach it? A teacher? A gym teacher?
No.
Like there is nothing better than your coach. Like, I'm 41 years old, and my coach Ray the other day, he screamed on me the other day that I was I felt like this big. You know what I mean? And I could have yelled back at him, but I mean that's coach. You know what I mean? And I don't, for some reason he thought I wasn't doing something, and who am I? So who's gonna take that position in the school? Nowadays we're so worried about feelings. So worried about feelings. We're so worried about how we express ourselves to each other. Now you've been to a gym, you know what goes on in the gym. You know your coach will tell you take your bag, take your hand wraps off, and get out of here. And don't come back until you get until you get another better until you get in a better attitude. You can't do that in school. You can't do that in school. You get what I mean? So
I think,
certain
and
things.
I,
Sorry to cut you off. Certain things should be left where they're at. You get what I mean? I believe it's okay to introduce something like it, but to teach boxing in school, what are we teaching? Who's teaching it? What time is going to be taught? You know what I mean? And what benefit are we teaching it for? Are we gonna use it as a sport, or is it gonna be a curriculum or a class? Because a lot of people go to music, and how many musicians are out there?
well, there's a lot that music and arts is a great program. But when I talk about boxing in high school, we got to make sure we have the right coaches in place. We're going to do it USA style boxing. Your freshman year, you will not be sparring at all. You will be learning the basics, footwork, jab, and then as your sophomore year comes, you'll be working on more of that and building a relationship with your coach, someone that you can trust. So this is a thing, right? This is a discussion. This is a discussion. Look, I know you're looking at me like, but Justin, this is a discussion. This is something I feel. Look what boxing has done in your life. I think it can help a lot of young people today learn discipline. And look, it's not anything different than baseball, boxing, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling. Your coach is going to yell at you. Your coach is going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But some of these kids need that in their life. They don't know they need it until it happens. So this is a discussion I want to have. I would love to reach out to Ray Oliveri. He's been on the show before. I want to reach out to Ray, some gyms, have guys on. Laus can come on. I want to have Aaron Bernardo on from Bernardo's Boxing.
We got a great program going over there too.
Absolutely. But this is a discussion that's going to be had. I really believe in my heart, if it's done right and it's not rushed, it's done right, come up with a plan of action to make it happen. I really feel boxing in high school can be very important. You don't agree with that, and I'm fine. I love you. I still respect you.
No, I'm not saying I don't agree. I don't agree or disagree. You gave me an expect. All right, so your freshman year, no sparring, right? Just 1, 2, 3s and hand the bag. But what about if you get a kid that's advanced?
No, I don't care how advanced you are. We're doing it. We're doing it structured. We're doing it this way. You're a freshman. I don't care if you won 33 amateur fights. This is the way we're doing it. We got to teach structure. These kids need structure. They need discipline. They need to learn commitment. You know what I mean? But this is what I love. Justin, this is a great conversation we're having right now. But this is the thing. Your freshman year, you're not sparring nobody. You're not getting in the ring. You're learning that jab. I don't care how advanced you are. This is the process. You have to enjoy you have to enjoy the process as much as you want to enjoy that prize. Your sophomore year, you're not sparring. You're continuing, and this is how you're going to see who's committed and who's not committed. You're gonna learn the sport of boxing your freshman year. You're going to learn all about boxing. You're going to learn the history of boxing. You're going to learn how boxing started. Your sophomore year, you're going to get into it more. Your junior year, you may get in that ring and spar. Your senior year in high school, that's when you compete against other high schools. Look, it works in other high schools throughout the country. It worked in Detroit high school boxing. Look up high school boxing in Detroit. It's worked in other places. I've been watching. I've been doing my due diligence, as they say, with high school boxing. And I want you in that discussion. I'm going to have you in that discussion. I'm going to put you down in that discussion because I love your honesty. I love your honesty.
I'm with it. And you know, to answer a question that you asked me earlier, and we jumped the subject. I don't want to leave without giving my perspective on that about that McDonald's situation and that thing. I believe a lot of things happen with these children and these kids because there's a lot of us, and I'm including myself, that when we drive by and see situations like that, we just like we turn our face and be like, "There's nothing we can do." I believe that when I was growing up back in the day, there was always somebody. What nowadays these kids call an OG, we just call an adult. Um, to always let them know, like, "Yo, you're going wrong. What you doing?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, cut that. Like, are you serious? There is none of that. Everybody's so worried about themselves, which is not wrong, but they're tending to forget that there's a future. You know what I mean? There's a future. People like that people in the upper ages already, they're already trying to think about their retirement, but they don't even know, like, you ain't gonna enjoy your retirement if you have a whole bunch of wildness, a wild west. You get what I mean? There is no retirement. You ain't gonna have no coffee. You ain't gonna have no galaus on the balcony. No, ain't gonna be none of that. So
And look, it takes people in our community like yourself that has done some prison time, that that have gone through living in the streets, tough streets, growing up in the streets. I grew up in a single family home. I ran the streets. I know, and it takes people like that. It doesn't take the politicians of our community. We don't have to wait for them. It's us as people that live in our community, that have grown up in our community, to be someone these kids can go to when they're having a tough time, someone they can look up to, someone they can trust, someone that's going to be a mentor and lead them in the right direction. That's what it takes. It takes us as a community. We can't always depend on the police. We at some point in time have to stand up and say, it's easy, so easy to complain and the kids and this kids, but what are we doing as a community to make it better? It's easy to get on the computer and type. But my question to you is, what are you doing to make it better? What are you doing to change the quality of life in the community, which you call home? What are you doing? If you tell me nothing, then I want to talk about it. It
yeah,
takes us as a community to come out and help each other and make things better. And I think with the community events that are going on in the city of Fall River, it's important that we get out and
yeah,
support these people.
yes,
We
yes.
need to
But
support. We
that's
need
the
to.
key. You just said it. That's the key. Support whoever's doing something. Support that person. Don't critique. Do not look for the ugly in it. Support it. That's what you do. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. And that's the biggest problem in Fall River and New Bedford. Local people got certain things going out, and our own people. You sometimes you'll find out about an event in Fall River by somebody that lives in Brockton. Why? Why? If Fall River is so big and everybody knows everybody, you know that, I know that. So I believe that. I think those are key things that in our both cities we need to work on, that as learning how to promote what's going on in our city. Because if something bad happens, trust and believe, in 10 minutes everybody knows everything.
Everybody's videoing it. So let's look. That's a conversation to have with our youth and working with the people that are out there trying to make a difference. They need our help. They need our support. So let's get out there, make a difference in our community. That's what it
Amen.
takes. Listen, I want to get back to Saturday night before I let you go. Justin, Saturday night doors open up at 6:30 p.m. Bell time is at 7:30.
Yeah,
PAL Pro Fighters, 8 solid cards. Stay ready,
man.
box of promotions coming on. I want to give you the last couple of minutes, Justin, to give out shout out to whoever you want. You got to get to the PAL this Saturday night. You got to get to it. My man Justin's fighting. You got Dustin Reinhold's fighting. You got Ray Oliveira's son fighting. You got a solid card of some
Man,
professional boxers. It's going to be a great show, man. Go ahead. I'll let you take it. You got 3 minutes. You got a round. You got a round right now to let it go. Go ahead.
before anything, I want to thank God for the opportunity to get on the platform once again, and you, Jerry. You know what I mean, for allowing me the opportunity. It feels, every time I get to talk to you, I feel like a superstar. You know what I mean? But that's a me thing. You know what I mean? So, what could I say about this Saturday? If you ain't got nothing to do, please show support, show the love to the local boxers. This is what everybody was asking. You wanted local fights? We got the local fights. Fall River, the city Fall River, throwing local fights. Big shout out to Los, Chris Jacobs, Ray Oliveira, and everybody that actually took the time to spend this camp with me and help me. A lot of people say boxing is a single man thing. That is a lie. Don't ever think that. There's a lot of people that do a lot, like a lot. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that you don't get to see. So like big shout out to Scotty, big shout out to Anthony, big shout out to Dustin that we've been working hard, to Ray Oliveira Jr. We've been working very hard in that gym, leaving our blood, our sweat, our tears, our emotions and everything. So we back, we there. Just be there. Just be there. Just be there. Just be
This
there,
Saturday night.
man.
This
That's Saturday
Saturday,
night.
right here in the great city of Fall River, Massachusetts, Franklin Street, PAL. Look out for some tickets. My man will be there. Justin, thanks so much for coming in tonight and spending your time. I want to get you again on the show. You're always a pleasure, always respectful, always a true man. Stay that way. Everything behind that jab, you'll be okay. This Saturday night, right here, Fall River, Massachusetts. Thank you, Justin, so much. Have a great night, brother.
Stay blessed, man.
All right, brother. So that was Justin Morales, great guy, great community guy. Get out there. This is the thing, right? You gotta support these local gyms. You gotta support them. You gotta support these local gyms. You gotta support these local boxes, and not only that, the people that sponsor these guys, they're sponsors. You gotta get to their business. You gotta look them up. Support your local business. Support the guys that are supporting the guys. Did I say that right? Yeah. Support the guys that are supporting the guys. Support these local companies. They're sponsoring these guys. It takes a lot. It takes a team effort to put on an event like this. I want to give a big shout out to Stay Ready Boxing Promotions for putting on the show this weekend. Let me look at my phone to make sure I get it right, because I like to ramble. I don't know if you noticed that, but I like to ramble and talk, and I just want to make sure I get it right. Rumble in the Riv. Rumble in the Rib. I even love the name, baby. Hey, Saturday night, Stay Ready Boxing Promotions putting on Rumble in the Rib, October 21st. Venue, Police Athletic League, 31 Franklin Street, Fall River, Massachusetts. And look at, man, get out there, support these guys. It's great. I want to tell you about another event coming up. I want to talk about Boo Bash. And I want to make sure I get this right, so I'm going to read as I talk to you. There it is. Keep it up so I can read it. Bernardo's Boxing Charitable Foundation and Generation for Youth Empowerment presents Boo Bash, a free community event. Listen, a free community event. These are gyms that are putting things on in your community. I'm going to keep this up. Justin's going to keep this up. That's the guy working in the background. I want to thank him for tonight and everything he's done. Look, the Boo Bash. Join us for our community partner vendors at the Fall River CYO for a fun-filled Halloween event, October 21st, 2023, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., the CYO, 403 Anawan Street, Fall River, Mass. There's going to be vendor activities, Bernardo's boxing demos, kid mitt works, adult sparring, costumes are encouraged. See event descriptions. What? You got to check this out. It's happening this Saturday night. I want to thank Bernardo Boxing for putting on an event like this with Justin Ranowski, which worked tremendously hard in the background to bring these things to the community. Look, we got boxing back and forth, Bernardo's Boxing, Love's Boxing, Stay Ready Boxing, PAL. I have a paper. Look, I want to make sure I say it again. Stay Ready Boxing is putting on an event this Saturday night. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. Professional boxing back in Fall River, Massachusetts. Great. Our great city. That's right. I said it. Our great city. We can make it happen right here in Fall River. These gyms are doing just that. Rumble in the Riv this Saturday night. Look, you can take the kiddies to the Boo Bash at Bernardo's Boxing, and then after the Boo Bash, and they get all riled up and look at different things, and there's going to be selfie stations that Darren and the guys have been working really hard. Remember, you want to get over 403 Anawan Street, Fall River, Massachusetts. Boo Bash. Hey, you might see some people there you didn't think you'd see there. That's going to be 12 p.m. this Saturday to 4 p.m. Again, 403 Anawan Street, the CYO. To my great Forever people, I want to thank Aaron Bernardo and Justin for putting that on. They've been working really, really hard. Again, and then after the kiddies have their fun, you can have your fun. You go over to the PAL 31 Franklin Street, Fall River, Massachusetts. Rumble in the Riv, October 21st. 8 solid cards of fighting. Look, Fall River, there's things going on. We got to get out and discover the great city of Fall River, Massachusetts, and you will see its greatness. That's why I always call it the great city of Fall River. But we need to get out. We need to get out and explore this great city. There's so much going on. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. The viewers, the comments, the questions. Share the show. Like the page. Tell your mommy about us. Tell your auntie that I love her great baked buffalo mac and cheese. Tell her to like the Neutral Corner and share the show with a friend. We're excited. We got a lot of things planned for the Neutral Corner. I want to thank everybody for checking us out. Hey, listen, this Sunday night, check out the Side Draft. Give their page a like, a racing show, NASCAR show, local drivers, supporting local people. That's what it's about. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Remember, share the page, give us a like, everything behind the jab, and you will be okay. Thank you.
Ali's trainer right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier.